Hey guys! Alright, so I am back with another foundation review. Today's foundation review is going to be on the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder Foundation. I have had this foundation for about a month now, so I am not going to do an 8-hour wear test because I have been trying out this foundation. So I do know how it wears on the skin. I do know how long it lasts on the skin, but I will be doing a demo and a review for you guys today. So I picked this foundation up at Sephora. I believe I paid, I think $37. I'm going to put the price below. But I believe I paid $37. I think you can only find this at Sephora. I do not think Ulta sells this. The shade I got was R510. I did have a hard time finding my shade. With powder foundations, it's very hard to pick your right shade. So I initially picked up 520, brought that home, and something was just a little off with that. So I went back and I ended up picking up R510, which I have right here, and I think that matches me a little better. But now seeing it on camera, I'm gonna really be able to tell if it's really a good match or not. You guys can also tell me what you think, if you guys think it's a good match or not, because I think it's pretty good, but I'm not too sure. I have worn it a few times and I think it looks pretty decent on the skin, so we shall see. Alright, so let's just jump right into the video, y'all. Let me tell you the claims of this foundation. It claims to be next generation mattifying foundation that blurs imperfection for 12 hours and leaves a second skin finish. The formula contains the latest generation of Flexi Fix Puzzle Complex, which adapts to the movement of the skin while also letting it breathe. Your complexion is left looking velvety and natural and never chalky. This foundation is also water resistant for a long-lasting matte look. Alright, so as you guys can see, it says it will give you a 12-hour wear. It's water resistant. It will leave your face looking like skin. I'm not going to give you my review right now. Like I said, I have worn this foundation, but I am going to try it out. I want you guys to really see what it's looking like on the skin before I give you my full review on it. Alright, so I'm first going to start with my primer. I'm going to use the Professional primer. You guys know I love this primer. This foundation claims to blur out imperfections, and I do have enlarged pores all right here. So I'm going to take my Professional, put it right where I have the enlarged pores, and I'm just going to pat that in my skin. Alright, so the foundation comes in this cute little sleek packaging. When you open it up, you do get the foundation. You get the foundation, and then you also get a sponge. The sponge comes with two sides. It's a black side and it's a white side. The packaging says for a heavier coverage, you want to use the black side. For a lighter coverage, you want to use the white side. Alright, so I'm going to do my whole foundation routine. I'm going to take my concealer, put that on. Alright, so I'm going to do my foundation on camera because I use concealer every time I wear foundation. So I'm just going to put my concealer on first because I like to put my concealer on with my powder. With powder foundations, I can do concealer first, and that's just how I do it. Everybody does it differently, but that's just how I do it. Alright, so now that I have put on my concealer and I set it, I'm going to take the foundation and I'm just going to swipe, picking up some product, and I am going to apply this. And this is kind of one of those foundations that's kind of hard to use at first because it's a sponge. I don't use sponges when it comes to powder foundation, but it says to use the sponge. So already I've dipped my brush in there twice. I'm going to dip it in a third time. Go on my forehead. Go on my neck. Alright guys, so I brought you guys in a little closer so you can see how the foundation is looking on my skin. Up close, it does, to me, look a little drying. So I have learned with this type of powder foundation, I like to go in with my MAC Fix Plus spray, and I like to spray my face. This just gets rid of that cakey look. It just kind of more so sets the foundation, makes it settle into my skin, and to me it makes it look a little bit better. So if you are thinking about picking this up, I definitely think you need to spray it with some type of Fix Plus setting spray, or maybe even just water. So you guys seen what it looks like on my skin. You are seeing now what it looks like after I've sprayed my face. Let me give you guys my final thoughts on this foundation since I have been wearing it for a while. Alright, let's get down to business. So, does it last 8 hours? Yes, it does last 8 hours on the skin. I have worn this to work and it did last me all day. So yes, it does last 8 hours. 12 hours like it claims, I'm not really sure because I have not worn it for 12 hours, but I have worn it a full work day. So that's about 9 hours. And yes, I can say it lasts up to like 8 to 9 hours. Does it control oil? I say for about 5 hours it controls oil. Because I look pretty good for about 5 hours, but then when 5 hours hit, I'm shiny all on my nose and I'm shiny on my forehead. Right here, I'm really not too shiny, like on my cheeks, in my T-zone area, which is kind of a surprise because a lot of foundations I am oily in my T-zone, like right here. But with this, I'm not oily on my T-zone. I'm oily on my nose and right here in the center of my forehead. So it does an okay job at oil control for 5 hours. Around 5 to 6 hours, you will need to blot. Does it break up on skin? No. Even though I do have to blot on my nose and my forehead, the foundation is still pretty much there everywhere else on my skin. When I come home, my foundation is still there. My blush is still there. The foundation is there. This foundation does not separate. Especially, I think if you set it with a Fix Plus or a setting spray, it will last even longer on your skin. So I haven't experienced any separating with this foundation. I think it does stay on the skin for 8 hours. Another thing I like about this powder foundation is that it looks very lightweight on the skin. You guys know I love foundations that look like skin. I am just one of those girls who loves foundations that look like skin, that just really looks like I'm going for that no makeup look. Y'all know I love foundations that do that, and this does that. This does give you the type of look as if you're not really wearing too much. With that being said, it's not full coverage either. The fact that it does give you that skin-like finish, to me this is medium coverage. This is light to medium coverage. As you guys probably seen in the close-up, my hyperpigmentation was peeking through just a little bit. If you need something that's going to cover up that hyperpigmentation, acne scarring, if you just need a heavy full coverage type of foundation, this is not going to be it. I don't think this is going to give you full coverage no matter how you apply it, no matter how much you apply it. I just don't think it's a full coverage powder foundation. Alright, so I do have a con with this foundation. One of my cons is I do not like the way it looks initially when I apply it. To me, it looks like a powder foundation. And like I said before, it looks kind of ashy. It looks kind of just chalky on the skin. I don't like it when I first apply it. I personally have to apply my Fix Plus spray because to me, I just don't like how it looks. It just looks like powder is sitting on top of my skin. So that's the one thing I don't like, because it does claim to be a matte velvet look, and to me it just looks kind of dry before I spray my Fix Plus. So that is a con, because I have to add an additional step to get it to look the way I want it to look. So what would I rate this foundation? I really kind of went back and forth about my ratings with this foundation, but I'm gonna say I have to give it like an 8. It's not a complete 10, because like I said, it does have that con of looking like it's a little ashy on the skin. So that knocks it down to like a 9. And then also the fact that it doesn't control my oil for a full 8 hours. So that knocks down another point. So that's why I'm going to give it an 8. But other than that, the foundation is still a good foundation. I still think it's a beautiful looking foundation on the skin. I do think it will give you a nice, healthy looking coverage. But it's not one of those foundations I would definitely say, oh my God, you got to run out and go get. I definitely don't say that, but I do say if you are looking for a powder foundation, if you are someone who really does not want to look like they're wearing makeup, you're someone who doesn't like liquid foundations, you're a powder girl, I would definitely say go give this a try. If you guys enjoyed this demo and review, please thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, guys, bye.